Hi, Stitchy friends. Welcome to my channel. My name is Joanne, and I am the Eclectic Stitcher. Welcome. If you're new here, thank you for stopping by. And if you're a returning subscriber or viewer, thank you for continuing to come back, chat with me, sending me message. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all your support and for coming back to me. I have been gone for a little bit. I've been very busy, been attending all kinds of events and just staying busy that I haven't been able to stop by. So I finally sat down. I was like, that's it. We need to get this done. It is Saturday, May 30th. My goodness, a month has gone by and you have not seen me. So I do apologize for that. I try to stay consistent with coming every 3 weeks, sometimes 4 weeks. I think it's been a little bit longer, but that's because just life. But I am happy to be here. I have lots of things to share with you, so we're going to get started. We're going to get going so that this video is no longer than 30 or 40 minutes. I have 4 new starts to share with you. I have 8 whips and 1 finished object. So we'll get to that. First, I want to let you know what I've been up to. I attended a one-day retreat that is hosted by Peggy, who is the owner of Crafty Framers in Largo, Florida. She is one of my, she's been my LNS for the last few years. She is about 2 hours away. I did find out about another store, which is 2 hours away on the opposite side of the state. So that's kind of nice to be able to have 2 stores that I can go to, for different things. So she hosts a one-day retreat about, 2-3 times a year, and it's called FAST, Friends All Stitching Together. It's just one day where we all get together and stitch and have fun, get with the old friends, find new friends. It's always nice to meet with individuals face to face. I also attended a retreat that is hosted by Gary Lee Sly. He is Gary Lee Sly Fabric Arts. He has a store in Leesburg, Florida, and he started, this is his 4th in one-day retreat that he's done for his location. And so I decided to go to the last one that he did at the beginning of May. And it's really nice because he has the store across the street from the location that he does the retreat. So you have the ability to just walk across the street, go visit the store, go shop, and it's great. That day that we were there that I was there for the event was actually an actual special day because Christy from Finally a Farm Girl has opened a store or a part of his store to be her store. And so they're sharing one location, and it was her grand opening that day. So it was kind of nice to meet her, meet some of her family, and just kind of be there and supporting her in her new store. So that was nice because I got to meet new stitchers, and I got to stitch with a couple of stitchers that I've known for a little while. I also I do stitch the second Saturday of the month. I stitch with a group of ladies at a library in Valrico, which is about an hour and 15 minutes away from me. It's one of the things that I don't have any local stitchers here in the area. So if I want to stitch with other stitchers face to face, I do have to travel an hour and 15 minutes to 2 hours either direction to meet with groups. And I'm fine with that. It's kind of nice to get out and meet individuals face to face from time to time. I am part of Discord groups and Zoom groups that we do stitch all the time. So it's nice to have that, but it's also nice to get out every once in a while and stitch. And then, of course, we had Spring Mingle. Spring Mingle happened a couple of weeks ago. That is hosted by Lindy Stitches, or Steph from Lindy Stitches, and she is the creator of Jingle Ball, which, if you haven't heard, is an event. It's an online event that is hosted in December, and so that's her biggest online event. But she has little events throughout the year, and so Spring Mingle was the last one she had. And I attended that. It was really fun. You go into Stitchy rooms. You can meet a lot of different people. She has little things going on throughout the weekend. And so it's a fun time to be there. She does have their next one that she has coming up is called Midsummer Stitch. It's July 18th through the 19th, and she has some designers that will be there to provide either they'll do like a exclusive chart. She'll have the store open, and sometimes the designers usually will have some kind of class that you can purchase separately if you want to do that. But if you just wanted to come meet other stitchers, do a little bit of shopping, it's like $15 to get into the event, and it's open 24/7 throughout the weekend. Okay, so if you want any more information about that, visit Lindy Stitches. She has a website, and you can visit her events page, and all of that will be listed there. Besides the events, I did visit, I mentioned Gary Lee Sly's Fabric Arts in Leesburg, but I also visited Needle Arts in Altamont Springs, which, if you've heard of it, you might have heard of it from Jessica the Sweetwater Stitcher. She is from that area. That is her LNS. No, I didn't get to meet her, but I was able to visit the store with my dear friend Becky. Her and I took a drive and went there. That store is a little further north for me, so it's not something that I will probably go to all the time, but it was nice to go out there and visit that store for the first time. So let's talk about haul. So during the spring mingle, I did purchase, and I'm sorry I did not print them. I forgot to print them, but I did purchase. She had a chart, an exclusive chart called Strawberry Moon. I probably have it here on my phone, but it's kind of hard to see on there. But Strawberry Moon is one that maybe I'll show it to you. Give me a second. Let me get this set up. Maybe I'll show it to you. But I did purchase that chart. I always like to get something that's, exclusive. And sorry for the glare. I know it's not the best, but there's Strawberry Moon. I also purchased, I have seen a lot of people on social media, Facebook mainly, stitching what's called the Snail's Hollow by the Stitch Crypt. I've never heard of the Stitch Crypt, but I've seen the progress of this, and it is a mystery cell. So right now the last one that I have is part 5, but I saw that and I thought that is the cutest thing. And so I decided to purchase that. This was not part of the mingle, but I did purchase this during spring mingle. Why? Because I saw people stitching it. And I'm like, that's it. I have to go buy that. And so I purchased that. And I also purchased the Garden Party, which is also Mystery Sal. It's a 10-part Mystery Sal by Tiny Modernist. If some of you have been here before, know that Tiny Modernist is one of my favorite stitchers. But I've seen this a lot. Again, I saw people, stitchers, doing it on the Spring Mingle Facebook, and so I had to purchase it. These are so cute. She does such a good job with her charts. And so that's 3 charts that I purchased during that weekend, but I also purchased the Happiness is Homemade cookbook. This is from the Nashville Needlework Market, and this is great. There's 50 stitches, I think it says here, from different designers, and they're great. I did a flip through on one of the Zoom groups that I was on when I received it, and it's great. So not so much about the recipes, but I do like the little charts. So I had to buy that, and it's so cute because Lindy Stitches, Stephanie, she always sends little things with your purchases, and I love that she sent this door hanger thing. It says, "Please do not disturb unstabbing things." So I love that. I told the girls, I said, I'm gonna take this to work and then she has her events listed on the back for the 2026 year. But I'm going to take this to work. I haven't taken it because I wanted to show it. I'm going to take it to work because I do stitch during my lunch hour. I've gotten in the habit of kind of eating this, little things in between the day so that I can spend my whole hour doing nothing but stitching with friends. And so I thought I can put that on my door so that nobody interrupts me. But anyway, so that's what I purchased during Spring Mingle weekend. When I was at the retreat for Gary Sly. I visited his store, and while I was visiting Finally a Farm Girl's store, I purchased 2 charts. She had the Twin Peaks Primitives display. She had these displayed in the room, the pillows, and I thought, how cute are these little critters? This is Quirky Critters 26. And just seeing the model stitch, the pillows hanging there, I'm like, it's mine. So I purchased that. I want to start one of these right away. So maybe I'll be kitting it up soon. I don't know. I just start everything, and when I purchase new things, I just want to start it. I've got 1,000 other things sitting there waiting to be started, but hey, why not? So I'm a process stitcher. I don't finish a whole lot of things, but I do finish things, just not as quickly as some others stitchers. I also purchased this, Matilda Goes to School. I saw the pillow model that she had in the store. My mom's a school teacher, and I thought this will be perfect. I can stitch this with her for her. I would not make it into a pillow. I'd probably make it into a flat fold or something that she can put in her room and enjoy it. When I was at the library, sometimes some of the ladies will bring things that they want to give away. So they had a freebie table, and I picked up a few charts. I don't know that I'll necessarily stitch them, but I purchased them or I grabbed them because I liked them. I thought they were cute. But the first one I have is called Winter Gathering Snow Folk. This was a French stitch pattern. Heart in Hand has this etchings series, and I have a couple of hers. I saw Christmas etchings, and of course I had to pick it up. I just think these are so cute. She's got the floral etching in the back, and I think I have that one. So am I going to collect them all? I don't know. They're just so cute, and I want to stitch them. So I picked that up. Satsuma Street Autumn Bird. I have found that I love and enjoy stitching birds, or any kind of animal has been my thing. So anytime I see things like this, I definitely pick it up. And then Forest by Satsuma Street. So yeah, so picked up those charts during my library day. So that is my haul. Not a whole lot. I started the year saying I'm gonna do a no-buy year, but that's been very hard not to do. I said I was going to not start anything this year because I have a lot of things, a lot of whips, and if you know me, I have a lot of whips. And so, but it's very hard to do when you see other stitchers stitching things or starting things. It's like, I got to do it. So yeah, I've been enabled quite a bit this year, and I have started a lot of things this year. Hopefully next month I'll have a total count of what I stitched so far for the first 6 months of the year. So stay tuned for that. I will have a count of my starts, my finishes, and of course my whips. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully in the next video I will have those numbers. So let's get to the part that you're here for, which is the stitching. So the first one I'm going to show you is a finish. This is Patriotic Tiny Town, and by Heart in Hand. And I stitched this on a 28 count Lugana. I forget what the color is. I don't have my sheet with me. But this was my very first Tiny Town purchase and stitch. And in the Discord group that I am in, we've been doing what's called Mayhem. Patriotic Mayhem, where we meet once a month and we get challenges for the month. And so the challenge this last month was to stitch 13 stitches for 13 days. And so I think that I really got enabled, because who's going to stitch 13 stitches and move on and put it away? Nobody. You've got those groups that do the 25, by 7. Once I get stitching, I get stitching. And so I really focused on this, and I was able to finish it. So I am really happy about that. I don't know how I'm going to finish it. But I don't finish anything, fully finish things. Usually I take them to Peggy at Crafty Framers and just tell her, hey, do what you like with that. I haven't decided if to frame them because I do have, and I'm going to show you, I did start another one. I will stitch a lot of them, but I don't know if I want to put them in a like a board, flat board type thing, or um, frame it. So I haven't decided that. For now, I'm just going to put it away in a drawer, and when I get to it, I'll get to it. But I really enjoy stitching this. These are really, they're quick stitches. They really are. They're fun to stitch. This next one I started, why? Because my friends on Discord were stitching this. This is a big girl, and you might have heard of this one. I don't have a lot of start, but I do have some that I wanted to share. Hopefully that glare is not too bad there. But this is Let Freedom Ring by Lila Studio. My friend Becky, my dear, dear friend Becky, I love her. She gifted me this chart and she's stitching it. And so I thought, why not? We'll stitch it together. And I am stitching this. Now listen to this. I have recently started stitching on linen. And I've started with 32 count linen. And it's gone great. You know, I stitch on Lugana, I stitch on Ada, but I wanted to try linen. I don't know why, crazy me, but I did. So when I went to stitch this, I thought, well, man, this is a really big project. So my dear friend Becky had a piece of 40 count Swigart linen vintage country mocha. So yes, my friends, this is on 40 count, first time stitching on 40 count. It's great. I love it. You know, to me, there's nothing to it. It's just stitching, you know. Why did I ever think it was so hard to do this? I don't know. I think every you know, of course the linen, I have found that some are, I like stiffer fabric. Not crunchy fabric, but stiffer fabric. So I have found that Swigart is stiff enough for me that when I put it on my Q-snap, it's taut enough that I can stitch. Because I don't like when your weave starts moving and your X's don't, I don't like that. So I've been doing great. I really love that. Stitching on that. I got to get back to it. I'm just using the DMC colors. Although I was talking to the ladies last night and I thought I would probably buy the called for red on the building because it is variegated and I like that look. So I may do that. But other than that, I'm using DMC colors. This next start, this was also something I picked up at the freebie table at the library. And I'll just show you. I started it. Why did I start it? Because it was a kit. It was a full kit by Design Works. This is called Frog Pile. And I wasn't going to stitch it, but since it was kitted up, why not? You know, I thought it was cute. I thought, man, that's a lot of frogs. But I just started it and I thought, well, you know, more power to me, I guess. I just thought it was cute, you know. So I just started it. You know, if things, I don't kit up projects and just leave them to sit until I decide to start it. If I get a fully kitted project, it's going to get started within a day or two from when I bring it home. And so that's what happened with that. What can I say? I start everything. This is the other start from Tiny Town. I started the Seaside Tiny Town. I'm hoping that you can see this. I can't really see it. But this was actually a gift. My good dear friend, Steph, who is Late Girl Stitches, she sent me, she had finished the chart and so she shared it with me. She sent it to me. And she was so nice. She sent me all the classic color works and the weeks dye works that goes with it. So I am stitching this on 32 count Belfast Swigart Lugana, and the color's platinum, and I am using all the call for colors. Why did I start it? Why not? I had the floss, I had the chart, and I had the fabric in my stash, so I started it. But I really love this. I love how it's looking so far. So hopefully that'll come out soon again. You know, when you have a lot of whips, it's kind of hard to keep up with all of them. This last one I'm going to show you for my starts. A lot of you have seen it. You know, there's a lot of patriotic things being stitched now because of the 250th. But this is the America Berry by Erica Michaels. This was a freebie that she provided during the Nashville Needlework 2026. And I'm stitching this on a 28 count linen. I don't know who it's from, but the color is amber / toasted almond. And I'm just using my own DMC colors. And I just started it just because everybody on my Discord group is doing it. A lot of people are doing it. I want to learn how, I watched a berry finish video that Helen D did, and I saw that and I thought, wow, that's easy. Now I don't like to finish things, but it's kind of cute how you finish that. So I don't know, maybe I will attempt to finish this. So I worked on this the last couple of days, and I really enjoy doing that. I will tell you, patriotic is one of my favorite things to stitch. My birthday's in July, so I always do patriotic stitching in July, but I'm going to be honest that we've been doing so many patriotic stitches this year. I'm about over, and I think a lot of us feel that way too. It's like you do so many stitching of patriotic stuff and they're great, they're beautiful, but sometimes you have to take a break. So I don't know what I'm going to do for my birthday this year, but it's not going to be patriotic, I don't think. So I'm going to come up with something new. So those were all my starts. Next, I'm going to show you all my whips, and then we'll be done. I'll talk a little bit. Well, my plans, let me tell you, my plans are stitch whatever I want when I want. I am going to just kind of keep doing what I'm doing. I do want to join challenges, but I just like stitching whatever. And so I'm going to stick to that. I don't want this to be a job. I want this to be a hobby that I enjoy and that I have no deadlines. My first whip that I'm going to show you is called the Equality Sampler by Plum Street Samplers. This is stitched on a 28 count Lugana. The color is Prairie Land, and I am stitching with all the call for colors. There's DMC, Classic Colorworks, and Weeks. And this was actually a gift that I received a couple of years ago from Sarah. She's a stitchy friend on a Zoom group. She had received this at a retreat that she attended. She received the fully kitted project and she didn't like it. And so she asked if anybody wanted. And of course, I raised my hand and she sent it to me. So the last time I picked it up, I worked this area here. Not really a border person, but I do kind of want to get going with that. And that flower up here that looks like a fried egg, which is what Sarah was saying, that it looks like a fried egg. I do want to get that finished, but there's a lot of stitching there. So I'm kind of moving along and trying to stitch other things so that I don't get bored with that one section. This next one I'm going to show you, I misplaced the cover picture, but I do have a picture of it. So I'll show that to you. This is Butterfly Garden by Blackbird Designs, and this one of the ladies at one of the fast retreats that I went to was giving this away, and so this I kind of picked up from the freebie table. But this is Butterfly Garden, and I'm stitching this one here. I'm not going to stitch this one, but I do love this one. And you know what? I am almost done with it. I don't know why I just don't leave it out and finish it. But 28 count Lugana color wheats, and I'm using the DMC colors. So I'll show that to you. And yes, I know I grabbed a big piece of fabric. I don't know why. Maybe because I thought I was going to do something else. I don't know. But there's where I am. I have to finish this and then do the few little flowers and bird on the side. I don't know if I'm going to do that bird. I don't know if you noticed there. I don't know that I'm going to do that bird there. Excuse me. Where is it? That bird. I think what I might do, I might either do another flower here or just put a couple other things there. I don't know. I just not really fond about that bird. But we'll see. I just don't think I need it. I mean, if I just stitch the butterfly and don't stitch anything else, I think this will be a cute little finish. But I like it. This next week that I've been working on this for quite some time. I, you know, and I really like this, but I will tell you that house is something else. But this is Love Your Family by Teresa Kogan, and this comes from her Let Love Rain booklet that she released in 2022, and I think this was from I think it came out at one of the markets. So let me show you where I am, and I've been working on the lady here. So since you last seen it, I've kind of been working here on this side. Poor lady doesn't have a head. And as you can see, when it comes to borders and these big houses, I will go little by little with those. I will definitely move along and stitch in other things. I don't know yet what I'm going to put here. Haven't decided that. I figured I'd decide that when I finish the piece. But there's that. And it is on a 16 count Ada by Witchell, and the color is amber, and I'm just using the DMC colors. It's all the call for colors. This next one, I think I showed it the last video I had, and I had just started it. You know, this is another one that if I just pick it up and do it, I can finish it. This was a kit that I purchased from Crafty Framers. This is called Autumn Adobe. Or Owl. I just call it Owl by Pine Mountain Designs. This was actually a kitted piece. It didn't come with a hoop, but it came with all the flaws and the fabric and the frame. So when I get done with this little guy, he will be framed. I am going to change the color of this roof, this lighter color. If you can see here in the picture, it's very light compared to the actual color of the floss. So I kind of like the way the roof looks in the picture. So I am going to find a lighter floss to replace that. But again, I just have to pick it up. Since it's out, I'm going to leave it out so that I can just go to working on it. This is another one that I've been working for a while. This is Nat Crack-a-Boom by Elaine, who is Annabella's. And I started this 1 year in 2024 for my patriotic birthday stitch. So in July of 2024, I started this. I don't know, there's a little, that part there, it's a little bright. I don't know. Once I put the blue on there, I'm hoping it can look better, but this is another one that if I just get to it, I can stitch it and be done. But it's really cute. I love it. Like I said, I love patriotic stitching. Anything patriotic I like. It's just been too much this year with it. This next whip is called A Stitcher's Wish. This is by Holly, who's the Stitchy Princess. And this is one that I picked up back in 2023 when I went to Garon Stitchery retreat. And I'm stitching this on a 16 count Ada color Wren. No, excuse me. I changed the fabric because I found that there was specialty floss or stitches. So I'm stitching it on a 28 count Lugana color Sand by Charles Craft because there are specialty stitches. And sometimes it's hard to do specialty stitches on Ada. So there I am, and he is so cute. I am stitching it with all the call for floss. And he is just so cute. I love stitching on him. When I got him done, it was so exciting because he is just too cute. So I've stitched a little bit here. I've been stitching over here. I have to put the other red thing there, but there's my progress on that. And then I just kind of bring down the border little by little as I pick it up. I know some people like to stitch the border all at once. Not me. I have to stitch it as I go. This next one is called American Stitch House, and by Chessie and me, and I am stitching this piece here. And again, I have a lot of projects, a lot of whips that if I just kept them out and put a floss a day, I can finish it. I'm stitching this on a 25 count, 25 count Lugana by Yarn Tree, and the color is mushroom. And I converted this, the flosses, to Sullivan's, and so I just kind of picked the colors that I thought would kind of match was there. So another one that I need to finish. And I am going to stitch, well, I don't know that I will stitch the fob or the flag. I think I'm just going to stitch that and call it. Last one. Yay! No. But hey, we're at 31 minutes. This is great. I love it. The last one I'm going to show you is Tiny Modernist. This is the Wizard of Oz tree. This I'm actually stitching to hopefully have it framed and gift it to my dad. He's always been a fan of the Wizard of Oz. Oh, speaking of that, oh, I forgot. So I have purchased the Yellow Submarine by Blackbird Designs. My dad, I left it at work. That is my stitch at work. I started it a couple weeks ago, and I'm sorry I didn't bring it. I'll try to bring it in next time so that I can share it with you. But I am stitching the Yellow Submarine because my dad has always sung that song to the kids when they were little. And it's just really not neat to have that, in the family. My son now, I have 2 grandkids, and my son, since his babies were little, they're 2 and 3 years old, but my son sings that song to his kids, and so it's kind of sweet, like the kids grew up listening to the song. My dad always sings it to them. It was one of those songs that my dad sang to put them to sleep. And so I'm stitching that for him, but I also picked this up back in 2022 to stitch for him. And so it's almost done, you guys. This was a release from 22 Nashville Needlework Market, and I just saw it. Of course, I wanted to stitch it. I'm stitching this on a 14 count Ada by Witchelt. The color's Touch of Blue, and I'm actually using the anchor called for colors. And, I've seen Laura stitching by the shore. When this first came out, she was stitching it. And she really got me going with it. She's done. She probably finished it like 5 years ago, But I'm still working at it. This last time I picked it up, I worked on the witch. And she just turned out so cute. These things are just really cute. When I pick this up, I just kind of pick one section and try to do a little piece. I may do this guy, and then I'll come back and do these little motifs and things like that. I still have to finish one down here, but yeah, I just kind of come here, and then I go up, and I come down here. It's a lot of stitching in that castle there too. So that is it, my friends. Like I said, I'll bring my stitch from work. I also have a stitch on my stand. I am stitching on another one that I'm trying to finish. And so I forgot to bring it out, but hopefully the next time I do a video, I will have a finish of that one. It's a Stitchy Princess called Magical Forest. So I'll bring that out and share it. I think that's all I have. Like I said, plans, I just stitch whatever. I do want to start, like I said, I want to start those critters. I may start my mom's, and the one that I want for my mom's. There's a couple other things that I have around here that I want to start. I want to start America the Beautiful, which is the stitch along by um, Teresa Kogut on Patreon. I don't know if I said this before, but my dear stitchy friend gifted me the Patreon for Teresa Kogut for a year so that her and I can stitch this Sal together. How sweet is that? I was a member of Patreon for Teresa a couple years ago, but you know, when you're on that $20 level and you get all these charts, after about 6 months, I thought, oh, I've got enough charts. I need to stop. But she gifted me this Patreon for the year, and I thought, I'm going to do this. So I have all the floss for to stitch it. I just don't have the fabric. So I'm still in the process of getting that. So hopefully I'll start that soon. I've seen progress online and I think it's great. It's beautiful. Um, but other than that, I'm looking around. I don't think I have anything else. Um, I hope to be back in 3 weeks. I really like to come back when I have like maybe 5 whips. I got a little crazy this last month with starting all this stuff. So hopefully it won't be that crazy. But if I do have a lot of things piled up, I'll come back sooner. I don't have a schedule. I'll just come back when I can and when I have things. So anyways, I don't want to keep rambling. It's 36 minutes. We're going to get back to what we're doing. Go watch other floss tubers. I have like 32 videos in my queue to catch up to. I want to stitch. It's all good. Stitch all the things. Be kind to others. You know, this world, there's a lot going on with this world. And just, you know, let's be nice with each other. Let's be kind to each other. You know, when you're in groups, we're here to stitch. We all have the same main goal. Let's stick to that. The stitching community is huge. And it's sad to see when there's things going on in the stitching community that shouldn't be there. You know, we're all friends. We can do this. Let's stick together. Stitching to me is so relaxing. When I come home from work and I've got all that drama and things going on at work, I just want to come in, stitch with friends, and just leave the world out. So it's great when you can join in and stitch with others. So be nice to others. Be kind and stitch all the things. And I'll see you again. I'm going to close my mouth, move on. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Love you guys. Bye.